Manchester United of Ohio babies right here, right now with them Ohio boys. How you doing, Ohio boys?
Hey, it's me, Meatball. Synth pussed out on this movie because he said that the movie would give him a boner. So it's me and Lem today,
Yeah.
Mail,
with
motherfucker.
Matt.
The iconic
And
line.
we're the Manchester United Football Club fan club of Ohio ourselves.
Are
Yeah.
all two of us.
Yeah.
And the other two guys from this movie.
Yeah. We're all of them, all the Ohioans. So today we watched EuroTrip from 2004, I think.
And we're both, me and Meatball, we're both surprised by how much we found ourselves unironically enjoying it.
Yeah, like I branded this movie from the outset as like being like a shit movie, which for those in the audience who don't understand, a shit movie is basically just a 2000s era comedy that has like the big red font on the box or on the poster, and it's about some horny idiot getting into hijinks, or it's some kind of spoof movie or something like that. Um
Dude, Where's My
it's
Car is a great example of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, where's my car? And I think Eurotrip are the two best examples of like a good shit movie.
Would
Yeah,
American
this
Pie
is
classify as a good shit movie as well? Or at least
It's
decent?
I think American Pie is the most iconic shit movie. It's the most well known.
It's
mm,
the most he fucked the pie.
Yeah, it's the most he fucked the pie of all of them. Um well, yeah, we it's Eurotrip, one of many trip movies, because there's another one called Road Trip that's another similar shit movie, except instead of them going to Europe, they just go to like Texas or something for like it's like the same movie. It's
yeah.
Isn't
like,
Tom
oh
Green in
It's
Road
from the
Trip?
same production company.
yeah, yeah, Tom Green was in that too, and yeah, same production company, basically the same plot. They go to some faraway place. They're in like high school to college, and they're horny as fuck for some woman that like the main character is pining for,
Yeah,
and
he was just like
hijinks ensue.
yeah, he was just like messaging her as like a pen pal, but because he like didn't know like German names, he didn't know like that because her name was like kind of close to Michael, and so he assumed it was a guy that he was talking to, but then he finds out that it was a chick the whole time, a hot German chick, and that the photo that she sent him of her and a guy who he thought the guy in the photo was her, actually it was the hot chick in the photo, and so he's like, this is my true love. I have to go find
Found
her.
out found out found out she was a woman, instant boner.
Mhm.
Yeah, instant throbbing boner. I must
Yeah,
travel to Germany immediately to see this.
To
my
see this
idea of the
Aryan
perfect
beauty.
woman. Yeah, no, my idea of the perfect woman started off as just like a platonic guy friend, but then it turned out it was a chick the whole time. Gotta bang her. Gotta go marry her right now.
Would you say okay, this is controversial, but would you say that's kind of gay? That his like his ideal girlfriend is like a platonic guy?
That's another thing about this movie. It wasn't as like I guess for lack of a better term heteronormative as I thought it was going to be. I kind of got a
Yeah.
vibe from his like best friend that he might be like secretly bisexual or something. And like the sex scene
Yeah.
that he has like going ahead, and also like the way he reacts when he thinks that he's coming out as gay, he starts like rubbing his back. He's like, "Dude, it's all right." I'm like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, he was like even saying like during that scene like, "Oh, yeah, that's hot, man."
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just kind of implying,
Average
yeah,
Zoomer
uh
Tombstone fan.
yeah, just
yeah.
a
We're,
bisexual stoner that gets called a retard when in Europe.
we're very we're very sorry. We're very popular with the bisexuals. I think.
All kinds. We attract many. We have multitudes of fans.
Neurodivergent
All
people are like, I hate to bring up the funny JoJo series, but we really are just like stand users. We just attract each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, for Eurotrip, I it's just like this one, I think of all the shit movies I've seen, really just was good. Like it wasn't bad. Like I came into this not having watched this for probably at least 10 years, because I used to have it on I think it was a VHS rip of a VHS rental. That's how old we're talking.
Did you
And
watch the unrated version?
yeah.
Ooh, oh god, I'm remembering all this movie is just coming back to me in floods. Oh wow, all the unrated shit. Like going back to how kind of queer this movie actually turned out to be. Whenever
Oh
there's
boy.
like a long gratuitous shot of like showing off a chick and her tits and whatever, it's immediately then followed up with like showing off like a guy in some way. Like I remember like the big nude scene, like nude beach scene where you see like a whole bunch of like
Mm.
European men with their uncut cocks out, you know. That came after like a big like I think like stripper scene or something.
Yeah, and then there was also like the contrasting scene where like all the women who were supposed to be at that nude beach went to a different part, like a different beach to like a monument or something,
Mm-hmm.
and it showed them all with their coochies and titties out for like a minute, and then it cut back to all these naked European men, and of course it shows the sister character of one of the side characters, the girl that's totally treated like a guy friend that's
Yeah.
like in their group, kind of strutting her shit on this nude beach, and then all the just hundreds upon hundreds of European men start chasing after her completely ass naked with their cocks flying everywhere,
Yeah.
and
No
they
wonder
like
Synth
run
was
for their
afraid of
lives.
this movie.
Yeah, I Synth. Let me go back and see what his actual justification was for not
he's
partaking in this episode.
he's going no fap.
That's
What did
even
he?
gayer than a beach full of naked European men.
He said voting X on Eurotrip. I'm trying not to jerk off for a while, and there's tons of bikinis in that movie.
That makes me think about which
Wow.
movies that he's reviewed with us that he's unironically jerked off to.
Space chimps.
Yeah, probably. Mm.
Yeah, the female chimp got his fucking rocks off, I
The
bet.
Patrick Warburton chimp.
So does that mean that you guys think that that Synth really did crank off to Christmas with the Cranks?
Yeah, yeah.
Only when
Because
Dan Aykroyd was on screen.
I would have to see like what the chicks in that movie looks like because I think I got like a good gauge of what he's into.
I think it's got that one like very suburbanite looking, very midwestern looking, like older mom character that's in like every 2000s movie. The one from
Yeah,
She
like
was,
that
Agent
one.
Cody Banks.
yeah, she was
That
Yeah,
also
one.
in The
yeah,
Middle, wasn't
Definitely.
she?
that one. Yeah,
Oh yeah, no,
yeah. She was also in The Middle.
that's his ideal wife right there. Yeah.
I fucking hated The Middle growing up. Like, my mom would watch that show all the time, and I just hated every minute of it.
Why?
I just thought it was dumb.
I
E-
mean, fair enough.
Every character in that show is a stereotype. Brick, the youngest child, is like a nonverbal autistic kid. Sue, the daughter, is just like an overly excitable teenage girl. I'm just like, okay, bro, we get it. You're excited. Shut the fuck up. And Axel
Like
was
we
just,
get it. You watch The Simpsons in the 80s.
yeah. Okay, that was a little sexist. What I was trying to get at is just that, like, it's the stereotype itself that bothered me.
Yeah, the like very suburban family.
Yeah. And then
Mm.
Axel was just like Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, except even more
Hmm.
forgettable.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. Now that it's funny that you mentioned it. Who was the main character in this movie? Like, who was the actor for the main dude? So
Oh
I
yeah,
completely forgot.
him. Yeah.
He looks he looks like Hayden Christensen a little bit. Was that Hayden Christensen?
It's hold on, wait. Scott Melkowitz.
Holy shit, his name is actually Scott. That's hilarious.
Scotty doesn't
Uh,
know.
I can't believe that. Okay, the fact that they got Matt Damon to sing that.
He
Oh,
was in
Matt Damon himself.
yeah, he was
Matt
in
Damon.
yeah, this actor was in Mean Creek and Mean Creek's the only other movie that I've seen with him.
Scott Meklowitz gave me some really big Roderick vibes. I got a bit of Roderick energy from him. But
Yeah.
he looks like a Skinwalker variant of Hayden Christensen, I think.
I was like pretty fixated on the Cooper character played by Jacob Pitts because I kept on looking at him and thinking, okay, if you took Matthew Lillard and Christian Slater, and you took their DNA and created a new guy from that, you'd probably get him. And the way he's like talking in the movie, he kind of sounds like he may be intentionally, like whether he's doing it on his own or was directed to do a kind of Christian Slater voice impression, because that is like
Mhm.
a Christian Slater type of character, because he always played like smart ass like characters in these type of movies. And
Mhm.
the twin sister character, she's in Buffy. She was supposed to be like, I think like the most famous one of the primary cast. Did something happen?
She
Oh,
knew
go
she was
ahead.
kind of familiar.
Yeah, the twin brother too, I think, has been in some stuff too. I think he went on to eventually become like a little bit more famous.
Isn't there a scene in Eurotrip where like the Pope dies or something, or they think they killed the Pope?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're just like goofing
It's
around at the Vatican, and they
yeah, it's right at the
accidentally,
very end.
yeah, they accidentally like ring the bell that only rings when the Pope dies, and they just like immediately put in a new Pope when like the Pope hadn't died.
Mhm. It was mostly like it was done for like a gag or something, and like kind of as a plot device for,
Mhm.
this whole crowd of people to sit around the Vatican and wait for Scotty himself to yell out to his love interest, because that's where the movie ends, or the movie wraps up, is in Rome and the Vatican. Um, but yeah, they burn like a Pope hat because him and the best friend character, like, they're playing football with it. I guess I don't know. It's pretty retarded. Um, but yeah, that guy, the Jacob Pitts guy, though, he I guess he was in the Pacific. I never even knew that he was in the Pacific as a one of the Marines, and yeah, it was kind of neat, kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
both
Didn't know
him
that.
and the twin brothers actor were both in that Justified TV series. I'm just looking
Mm,
at their IMDb right now.
mm.
But
Yeah, and
what did you think of all the? Did you recognize all like the celebrity guest cameos? Because this movie was kind of like a Muppets movie with like the random celebrity like cameos, and some of them like aren't recognizable. I think like to a modern audience anymore. Like you guys don't know who the hell Lucy Lawless is. Um,
I have no clue. I thought that was a porn star.
oh, that's funny. Um, no. Have you ever heard of a TV show called Xena Warrior Princess?
Yes.
She
I've
is
heard of it, but
Xena.
I've never seen
Yeah,
it.
I've seen it. It's great.
Oh,
I love it. Yeah.
I know there was an
Xena Warrior
N64
Princess.
game based
Yeah.
on Xena Warrior Princess because of course there was. Everything in the late 90s had to have a fucking video game.
Wait, was she the one that played Scotty's girlfriend in the beginning?
No, she's the dominatrix.
Oh, okay,
She's
that makes a
she's
lot
the
of
one
sense.
that takes the bisexual best friend's anal virginity.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah, I was reading up that originally that scene was supposed to be something else that was like too hot even for like an unrated cut. It was like some sort of like, let me see. All right, the Anne Frank sex scene.
The
Oh my
In
what?
god.
never filmed but available in script form on the original DVD. They claim Cooper finds a flyer for a sex club called The Secret Room and accidentally misidentifies the house of Anne Frank as the club. He asks somebody, "Is this the secret room?" And they go, "Yes, it will change your life." Berg recalled. Encountering
Oh my
a big
god.
line outside, Cooper assumes he has found the correct place, but instead of waiting, he goes through a back door. Once he discovers a small room with a small bed, he decides to get naked and wait for a sex worker, but soon after finds himself exposed in front of a tour group. To make matters worse, Anne Frank's only living relative was part of the tour group. and
That would have
as
been fucking funny.
and as if that wasn't enough to horrify the studio, the scene also had Cooper reaching for a small mannequin, one guess as to whom it was modeled after, and covering his
Oh,
private parts with it. Yeah, they replaced the Club Vander sex scene with that for that.
Gee, I wonder why this was cut.
I
Yeah,
think
no.
uh I think the Club Vandersex scene was a bit more shocking than that. I'll be honest. I mean, yeah, it's like, oh, it's like a Holocaust thing. That's pretty bad.
Yeah,
That's like
anything
cringeworthy in
with
itself.
like
But
Anne Frank is like whoa, like when
yeah, but
she was married to Goku.
Yeah, but what the fuck?
Remember that? Really?
I hate that I
This
know
is
what you're talking about.
this is something I actually don't know. Please fill me in on
Oh wow,
this.
you actually don't know about the
No,
Goku X Anne Frank fanfiction?
I
There's
have
like
no
an
clue.
animation based on it too.
Oh
It's like a
no, what the
Newgrounds
fuck?
thing. Yeah.
Why?
It is just as bad as you think as it sounds.
Oh wow.
Oh, good God. Well,
Going back to the major motion picture EuroTrip,
yeah, thank you, Synth Cool stand-in, Lem. Um, Going back to the major motion picture Eurotrip, I thought the Club Vandersex scene was, I think, a little funnier because, it kind of like laid into the whole like Europeans are weird, kinky weirdos that do weird shit a bit more. Although
Mhm.
I did kind of like the bait and switch with the weed bakery where it just wound up being a regular bakery that was run by Jamaican dudes.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. This movie is like, it's not bad at all. Like a lot of the jokes land pretty well. A lot of the celebrity cameos are pretty interesting. They had the old Jewish guy who's in everything.
Fred Armiston.
Uh, yeah, I think so. The guy with like the weird crusty looking lips, the father character.
Oh wait, no, Fred Armiston is the Italian rapist.
Oh, that guy was fucking funny as hell. The just mi scusi, buongiorno. Just I remember when I was a kid, I used to quote that a lot because it just it seemed like such a creepy thing to just be
you
this
quoted a
weirdo on a
rapist.
train. Yeah, rapist character in the movie because it was kind of funny to act like that, to be like, "Oh, mi
It
scusi,"
was
whenever you
funny
do
to act
something
like a
Yeah,
ridiculous.
rapist.
yeah, playing like on like the whole stereotype of just like the overly touchy, European, who's
Yeah,
like who's also like bisexual. Yeah.
yeah. They found this like fucking random Italian guy in the middle of France on the way to Germany or on the way to Denmark rather, and
Yeah, and
just
he was in the train with them, and he sat like really
he just
close next to them, like to
The
the
just
forbidden
walked
third
right into their
Mario brother.
yeah. Yeah, no,
just
and this,
walked right into their private
yeah,
cabin.
it's funny like this. I think this guy actually wound up doing the voice of Cranky Kong in those Mario, the new Mario
Oh,
Illumination franchise.
oh my god, really?
Yeah.
That's actually nuts if so, because the I always quoted the "Mi scusi" guy as a kid just because like me and my brother would like do something stupid to each other and be like, "Oh, mi scusi, mi scusi." Just
Yeah. The only thing I remember from this movie, because I do remember this just like being on the background at least like once in my life, because this was like a hot
mm,
comedy back in the day, because it was a good shit movie and everybody was aware of.
mhm,
But
yeah.
I, I remember like because like as soon as that part happened, I was like, oh my god, I'm having flashbacks. The part where they're having sex in the confessional and like
Mhm.
his like butt like accidentally like presses up against the screen for like a
That
bit
part that
when
part got me.
when a woman's doing a confessional. Yeah, no, I remember that
Yeah,
scene, just like a pair of butt cheeks like pressing up against, like male butt cheeks
just like
pressing up against.
yeah, just like flashing up against it like over and over like god, it's so fucking funny.
Imagine if he duked.
Cuz it's not even like it's not even like they're like actually like fucking. It's like he's just mooning that woman at that point. It's so good. It's such a dumb funny thing. Uh but yeah, this is like this really is like the one type of shit movie I think where the horny retard character, the main character guy, not only gets the girl and succeeds, which I mean most of the time they do,
Mhm,
but all the characters kind of succeed a little bit because usually there's like some characters that are like played off for laughs or they get some kind of comeuppance or
mhm,
something.
yeah.
And this one they like kind of went out of their way to be like, oh yeah, all the characters in this movie got a good little happy ending.
Yeah. I like the dynamic between them because you could see it in like Dude, Where's My Car? And something I never really enjoyed that much about Dude, Where's My Car is that they're both idiots. That's just their
Mhm,
dynamic, is that they're both idiots. But here, it's like you got like one that's a smart ass, you got one that's a cuck, you got
mhm.
one that's
Oh my
tomboy, I
god.
guess, and you got her straight lace, like, twin brother who gets his dick sucked by a French girl and is like, I gotta
Sounds
move
like
to
my
Europe.
IRL friend group.
Oh my god, you just revealed this to me. This completely blindsided me. The main character in this movie once again is a fucking cuck. This is like the 5th time this has happened on this podcast that we've covered a movie where the main character is a cuckold.
It's kind of
Yeah,
an
who's
unwritten law that like there has to be at least one character in your shit movie that is just a straight up cuck.
yeah, no, and he is like the cuck in a way because like he's named the
The
way he is.
cuck.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like, and also his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend is named the way she is because they put the song Scotty Doesn't Know in the movie and they have Matt Damon pretend to sing it and he yeah, like that's like the cuck song, like the famous cuck song. It's like that's all that song is about. That's the joke of the song. Is like, I'm cucking my best friend. I always kind of hated that
Wait,
song.
I thought this song was made for the movie. I thought it was made specifically for the movie.
It might have been, but I thought like the song already existed, and then it became a hit song. And they're like, well, we got to put this song in our next like shit movie and have it like
I
be a
need
part of
to
the plot in some way. Like, what if we made a movie about Scotty, and he finds out, he finally knows, and he breaks
Oh
up with
my
the
god.
girl, and then he goes to Europe and he finds himself.
Wait, I just looked it up. It actually was made for this movie.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, and it was made by the band Lustra, which is based out of Boston, Massachusetts, but it does not include Matt Damon.
Yeah, I did hear that Matt Damon did want to sing the song, make an attempt at singing the song, but they're like, "No, dude, we're not letting you."
Yeah, I think they just ADR'd the song over him mouthing it.
Yeah,
Which like why even have fucking Matt Damon in the movie if you're
because
just
it's
gonna do
funny.
that?
It's funny.
Like that
Look,
probably
it's Matt
that
Damon.
had to have cost money. Yeah, I guess.
I
Hey, look guys,
I
it's
don't
Matt
know.
Damon.
Like Matt Damon probably was just like, I want to be in this dumb comedy.
How many
Matt
children do
Damon
you
takes
think were
weird roles sometimes.
how many children do you think were conceived in the theater of while people were watching EuroTrip?
I mean, probably not many. I mean, this is a cuck movie. They were-
Well,
I
what
think
about
if anything,
children that are born from cucking?
that's a good question. I think for people that went to the movie theater to see this, I think this was like, I mean, let's rewind, right? This is 2004. The boomers got rid of all the porn theaters that they got to enjoy. The internet was still in its infancy. People were probably going there hoping to see a titty or two so they could crank their hog.
They start cranking their hog like secretly once there's like a little bit of titty action, and then they show an uncut cock.
And that's where
Yeah.
they climax.
And they're just like, God damn it, I'm gay now.
That's the point of the movie. You go to Europe and you find out you're gay.
I mean, kind of. I mean, the main character is a little gay. He's a cuck. His best friend is like a bisexual guy who gets like ass fisted.
Yeah,
Uh,
and it hooks up with the twin sister at the end, who he keeps on calling a guy. It's like you're not a
yeah.
girl, you're a guy, and I'm thinking like this is a part of it. This is definitely a part of it. Yeah,
Then the twin sister's twin brother gets molested by an Italian man on a
yeah.
train
And he gets, but
after
then
getting.
he consensually gets his dick sucked by a French girl or Dutch girl, whatever she was. It was in Amsterdam.
She was like a Dutch camera salesperson, I think.
Yeah, and is like making innuendos about the lenses and stuff. They're just like kind of flirting with each other, and she's like, "I'm gonna smoke a
Ooh,
cigarette
it's so.
outside," and he's like, and she's like, "Do you want to come out with me?" And he's like, but I don't smoke," and she's like, "Well, neither do I. I'm gonna smoke your
Yeah,
cigarette."
she smoked some cock that night,
And then he gets
which
and then while he's getting a blowjob from her, he gets robbed by Diedrich Bader.
who just put on the absolute worst fucking accent I've ever heard. It's like a fake French accent that kind of sounds like every attempt that oh god, what's his name? Seth MacFarlane ever made it like doing a foreign guy voice where he's just like, "Hey, give me the wallet."
You'd think Seth
Yeah.
MacFarlane would be in this movie.
I don't. Was he big enough in 2004 to be considered for stuff?
No,
Well, I
I
mean,
don't think
Family
so.
Guy was
No.
very much a thing by that point.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it
he
Family Guy
wasn't.
was.
American Dad was too.
I it was still, I think that both those shows were still just being like written off as just like Simpsons clones. And
Mm,
like he hadn't, I guess, become like more of a multimedia talent at that point, because like he kind of became more of a star like in the 2010s once like Family Guy was around for a while, and he made like other movies,
like
and
Ted and
he hosted the
stuff like that.
Oscars. That was a year. It's like, wow, the guy who created Family Guy is hosting the Oscars. What a year.
This is even weirder
Yeah,
than that
which
time I hosted the Oscars.
I made a joke about Harvey Weinstein. Nobody got it at the time. They get it now.
What a bunch of cocks. No,
so Lem, you didn't see this movie.
and I don't
You,
plan to.
you were the one person that refused, aside from Synthcool, who also refused on celibacy grounds. Um, what other types of like similar shit movies have you ever seen that you think are kind of similar? Like, do you often watch shit movies?
Not at all, really.
Really? Wow. I kind of see the reason why I know so much about shit movies is because I kind of grew up on them, right? Because like every movie that like my dad would get from like the Red Box or like Netflix, or like we had this video store that was in town for a while. Uh, you know, he would just be like, "Oh, I don't know what to get. I guess I'll just get one of these fucking stupid comedy movies." Play it for a little bit, then return it after I make a tape rip of it with my camcorder. And so we just wound up collecting like all kinds of these just shit movies, because we had like a whole bunch of American Pie movies. We had Eurotrip, we had Road Trip, we had just so many of these.
Do you remember
And
Superhero Movie?
no thing, well, actually, yes I do, because we
It was
watched it
like
together.
it was like Epic Movie, but it was a parody of like
Yeah,
superhero films.
Yeah.
it was really bad. That movie was really bad.
I
I
think it
didn't
was made by
like
the
it.
same people who did Epic Movie.
It was, because all those movies back then were like the same kinds of spoofs, except superhero movie actually had Leslie Nielsen in it, which is genuinely nuts, because he was like known as like the master of like spoof movies, because he was like such a profoundly like known actor in like spoofs like Airplane,
The
um
Naked Gun films,
the Naked Gun, all kinds of stuff like that. And then
Police
he just,
Academy.
yeah, which those movies are awesome. They're hilarious even to this day. Nowadays, spoof movies, or not even nowadays, back in like the 2000s and 2010s, spoof movies got so bad because they were just all like trying to be Family Guy.
It was
And what it,
reference after reference after reference, and a
yeah,
fuck ton of filler.
yeah.
Hell, in Epic
Whereas,
Movie alone, like I know this episode isn't about Epic Movie, but I don't care. There was only
mm,
like about 25 minutes of actual film and plot in Epic Movie, and the rest of the runtime was just filler.
yeah, and I think the way that this movie differs from that, that Eurotrip differs, is that it actually has a plot. There's actually a story. There's actually like situations that the characters go into that are like interesting and kind of wacky and strange or whatever.
They have
It's
arcs.
Yeah, they have arcs. They have character arcs. It's not
Yeah.
just like reference after reference. When the main character got the like "male motherfucker" thing at the beginning just out of nowhere, that was fucking hilarious, because
Yeah, that's
it's a
genuinely
good
funny.
gag.
Like that
Yeah,
part I actually have seen of the movie.
it's a good gag, but like if every part of the movie is just that over and over, that just gets tired after a while. There's like no investment in like watching the movie, or like seeing what the characters are doing, because you're just like, oh,
It's
these
just a
characters are just a vehicle for making dumb jokes. I want out of this theater,
yeah. It's
or I
like,
want to shoot myself in my living room, please.
oh cool, it's another Chronicles of Narnia reference.
Yeah,
Oh, look, a
you know,
Matrix reference. I've never seen that before.
A
yeah,
Matrix
God
reference in
forbid.
2000s media? Fuck out of here.
But like, at least in this case, like a lot of the humor came from like the situations, and I think I like situational humor a lot more than reference humor, because reference humor seems to be very dated, like almost instantly as soon as it comes out, unless it's like a major cultural reference or something, right? But it's like
Like
if it's like a
9/11.
Yeah, like 9
Oh my
11.
god,
But
why didn't this movie from 2004 like talk about 9/11? Like why were they talking about 9/11? It literally happened like 3 years ago, dude. Like why aren't they talking about it? Like
Okay,
I'm
Mr.
actually
Enter, we get it.
I'm actually kind of glad they didn't, because that would have dated this movie quite a bit.
Ivan,
I
Ivan, they hit the Pentagon.
I think it would have it dates it more that like they don't mention it, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, no. I think like they didn't really start like making shit about 9/11 until like a couple years later. Like 2005,
Yeah,
2006. That's like cuz when did the Iraq war end?
2011.
2011. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, once like the Iraq war has been going on for a while and you're really starting to feel it. And also like at that point that's when conspiracy theories started like propping up 9/11 trutherism.
Oh, dude, that shit was running rampant after 2009, because that, after
Especially,
Bush left, it went from being like, oh, let's unconditionally support Bush, to, I think Bush lied. I think, it was all a conspiracy,
yeah,
just shit
like,
like that.
especially with people like Alex Jones.
That's kind of where he got a lot of his start, was from people like that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bush.
Dude, where's the second tower?
Dude, where's my plane?
Dude, where's the
Dude,
Oh god,
Pentagon?
dude, where's my box cutters?
Jesus.
Dude,
Uh,
where's Bin Laden?
Dude,
the
Hey,
the
that's
thing I'm
enough.
dude, where's
really
my 42 versions?
the thing I'm really glad about with this movie, though, is that like, it just, I don't know, there's something nice about it, just not doing dated ass reference humor, or like referencing things that are going on currently in 2004,
Mm,
because it's so tired. I hate spoof movies that do that. I hate shit that does that. I mean, Airplane doesn't do that. The Naked Gun series doesn't do that. Police Academy doesn't do that. And I think that's, it's like the time period that something's set in shouldn't be like a source that the director and the writers mine for, like gags or jokes or whatever,
mm.
unless it's like, you
Spaceballs
know
didn't do that.
even Spaceballs didn't do that, and that's an old ass,
Spaceballs,
like,
Young Frankenstein, Dracula Dead and Loving It, all of those work
hmm.
as spoofs because they don't like overtly reference like modern popular culture. Well, except for Spaceballs, but like Spaceballs was a parody of science fiction as a whole and not just Star Wars.
Yeah, and all the movies that Spaceballs is parodying are timeless on their own, so you're gonna
Yeah.
understand the references. Like even if you've never seen
Hmm.
Star Wars, you're gonna understand those references. Even if you've never seen Alien, I think you're gonna realize like, oh yeah, this is Alien right here. Like, oh yeah, that chick right there, that's Ripley.
Oh
Hmm.
shit. There goes the planet.
Yeah.
I
But
apologize for
this.
any background noise on my end. It's this creaky fucking gamer chair that I'm sitting in.
Oh,
I've
you're
got
good.
a
We can't hear anything.
I've got
Okay,
a
good.
creaky gamer chair too. I'm sure it's shown up in the episodes.
I don't hear anything. Um, Kind of going back to oh shit, my cat just attacked me. Ow, fuck, let go.
Eat them.
Fucking hell.
Let him go.
I just got attacked by the diluted orange. Sorry, we'll probably have to cut that.
Going back to the epic motion picture. Fuck it, I'm not
EuroTrip.
doing this bit anymore.
It's I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty okay. It's a pretty decent movie. It doesn't date itself overtly. It doesn't rely on reference humor. It's got a cut character. It's really got everything. It's got everything you'd ever want from
Mhm.
a good shit movie.
It's a great alternative to just going on a European trip.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I guess it's a great alternative to like getting mugged in Macedonia or something, but
Or
oh
getting
shit.
raped by an Italian man on a train.
Oh, mi scusi,
Getting
buongiorno.
drunk on absinthe and making out with your twin.
Yeah, I bet that was a really interesting hallmark for a lot of the budding incest enjoyers
Yeah.
when they
Yeah,
watch this movie.
I bet that was a turning point for a lot of people, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, pre 2004, we didn't have porn websites showing like step sibling porn, and then post 2004, now it's everywhere. What happened, America?
Thanks, Biden.
Yeah, but
I blame the Loud House.
Fun fact, one of the
Jesus,
longest fan
dude.
fictions ever written, one that's literally like 3 times as long as the King James Bible, is a Loud House fan fiction written by a 15-year-old autistic kid.
Yeah, and they're
Fucking
cheating.
really?
They're just copy and pasted Wikipedia articles and fandom articles from the Loud House wiki. I had somebody tell me there's like one part where like the Loud family experiences Hurricane Katrina, no joke, and so the kid just copy and pasted like the whole like article about Hurricane Katrina into the story.
So they're plagiarizing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I still think it's like it's stolen valor. Like the longest fan fiction is still that Brawl fanfic because I think that's still
Brawl?
like mostly original material.
What's Brawl? I've never heard of Brawl.
Smash Bros. Brawl.
No fucking
Yeah,
way.
like there's a
there's
Smash
also
Bros. Like
that.
Brawl like fan fiction that was originally like the longest like piece of fiction ever, and then this Loud House one cheated its way to the top.
There was
That's like,
also Sonic's Ultimate Harem and that NES Godzilla creepypasta that were both also really notorious.
I've read some of Sonic's Ultimate Harem. That was like really repetitive because like Sonic like kept on like hooking up with all these chicks in the exact same way, and they kept on doing the exact same thing. It's just like Sonic is just like an idiot, unaware that this like hot lady is like coming on to him, and she mommy doms him. Some of them do anal with him, some of them don't.
A
Um,
lot of the
ex-
girls he bones are underage too.
yeah, I think they may make a point about
yuck.
them being like of age or something. Like I know like Sonic's supposed to be like have like human proportions or something like that.
Yeah,
Like you're
because he
supposed to
wears like
imagine him as a
jeans and
human.
shit. I'm like, bro, he does not wear pants.
Yeah. I remember like the ones where he hooks up with the Teen Titans chicks are particularly different. Like for some reason like this guy's like, "Oh no, I got to dominate these women. Like they're not dominating me. I'm dominating them."
No way in hell
But
Raven isn't dominating this motherfucker.
yeah, I know. Like, no, like he goes for like a whole timid virgin thing with Raven. Like, dude, Raven fucks. Like,
Raven and Starfire
Dude,
definitely
Raven
fuck.
fucks. That is a sentence.
We're quoting you on that. Okay, going back to the epic motion picture EuroTrip, as if there's anything more to say. Uh,
I mean, what else is there to say about Eurotrip? It's an okay shit movie. There's a lot of cocks, there's a lot of titties.
I feel like Synth
Uh
missed out.
yeah, Synth missed out on his Catholic anti jerk off crusade.
yeah, let's
And
make fun
He's
of him for
probably
a while.
gooning to like. He's probably
uh
gooning to like the Weekenders or something right now.
I mean, knowing him, it'd probably be something like with a very highly stereotypical suburban mother figure in it. Like, I don't know, like Leave It to Beaver or like
Like
Leave
you
It
It's
to
mean the
like
Beaver.
Fairly Odd
divorce
Parents?
vibes. Wine ants.
Yeah. Yeah. So
He's just IRL Coral Weezer when it comes to his sexual preferences.
oh,
or,
Jimmy's mom.
or just a hot redhead or something. Because he's Italian
Yeah.
and like there's like one thing that Italian men can't resist. It's red hair and freckles, especially if they're together. They also can't resist half black women,
Hmm.
specifically half black women.
Many such cases of Italians preferring the former Celtic Gaelic peoples of Europe and the peoples of the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Curious indeed.
Meeple and I
But
went to high school with this mixed race dude, and he ended up becoming kind of a chud.
uh not to name, not don't say his name, but who's the one you're talking about? See,
Uh,
the one I'm thinking of that posts boomer stuff on Facebook all the time.
that's the one. I won't
Oh
mention
my
their name,
god.
but
Okay, so this dude used to be like, okay, this is a fun little anecdotal story. I used to play
totally
football with
related
this
to the
dude.
subject at hand.
Yeah, totally related to the subject at hand completely. But this was a guy I used to play football with when I was in high school. He used to get called racial slurs all the fucking time, like because he was like a half black kid. He was like really muscular, like just fast. He was a running back. He could hit like a train, and he would just get called all kinds of slurs by these like redneck ass white kids. And nowadays, somehow that turned into him being like a conservative on Facebook who posts like Confederate flag memes.
Oh my god. That's like terrible like repression.
Yeah, that's
And
bad, isn't it?
internalized like racism
Yeah, it's horrible, and I
from
tried to tell him
from a
like,
lifetime of bullying. It's like, dude, I'm gonna be your
yeah,
friend. It's like, dude,
He
you don't
was
have to
not
hate yourself
always
like
like
this.
this.
it's kind of sad, honestly. Yeah, so that's a fun anecdote about someone we went to high school with. Me and Lem, just
Yeah,
this this. I mean, he's still a good dude. Like he's still like at the core the same person.
yeah.
He just, I guess he's like trying to blend in now that he's living in the adult world in Ohio, and he has to subjugate himself. As
Yeah, I'm gonna post
fucked up as that
Confederate
sounds.
flags in this non-Confederate state.
Yeah, which that's the thing that always fucking got me is why the fuck do people post like pro Confederate shit above the Mason Dixon line? Like we're not.
Because they're racist.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
but
yeah.
and then they'll also complain about how fucking like immigrants from Mexico, whether or not they're here legally, will sometimes have like Mexican flags.
Yeah.
Really? I've never heard that one before. That's dumb. Like you
They'll
can't
just
be
be like, "What?
nationalist. You can't be a nationalist for a country that doesn't exist. Or like not even that. You can't. Well, I mean, you can. You can be nationalist for a country that doesn't exist. What am I saying? You can't be nationalist for a country that is just your country, but with slavery.
You're telling me you're not a nationalist of the nation of Pedora?
I mean, I've always been a nationalist for Pretoria. I am a.
I'm a nationalist for the NCR, motherfucker. You will pay the taxes."
Oh God, let's get into the Fallout New Vegas conversations. I'm sure our fans will not be autistic about that.
Fallout
Yeah.
EuroTrip.
Fallout EuroTrip. Speaking of Fallout and Euro, have you guys heard of Fallout London being out recently?
Yeah,
Oh
I heard
yeah.
that you basically have to play Fallout 4 in like potato mode to even get the fucking mod running.
Well, that was the case initially. You have to like downgrade it from whatever like update that Bethesda put out. It's a whole mess. You have to give your login credentials to a totally legit totally legit trademark symbol, legit 100% no hacks installer that
It is an
installs
impressive
it from
mod, I will give them that
SteamDB.
much, but like, I don't know.
I mean, it's good. I've played a little bit of it. I couldn't really get it to work very well because I think I fucked something up. But yeah, it's a great mod. I feel like if EuroTrip took place in the Fallout universe, and they visited London, and they saw those Manchester United hooligans,
That's
do you
just a
think they would
raider
just
group that lives there.
yeah? Do you think they just die, or do you like what do you think would happen?
They're so full of
Let's
beer, radiation has no effect on them.
Yeah. All the football fans became feral ghouls.
They always have been.
I mean, kind of, yeah. Have you guys heard of what's going on in the UK right now, where like a bunch of like mega right wing football hooligans are just like tearing shit up
Oh yeah, their football
because they
hooligans are like worse than ours. I mean, ours will like
White
tear up cities, but it never gets like
yeah
they never quite get as serious as them. Like they're kind of like borderline terrorist over there.
they don't have any satisfaction by our American style legal system of you know innocent until proven guilty. They're just like, no, he's a witch, kill him.
You
Like
know,
that's
for the
their whole
longest
thing.
time, and I could be incorrect about this, but like, wasn't it common law in like the UK that it was originally like guilty until proven innocent or something?
I have no idea.
Like, I'm not
I
trying to
have no
make a
idea about.
joke. That is something that I like read or heard once. I could be entirely wrong about that, but I don't know.
I
But
have
yeah,
no
like
idea.
British
I
people live like the movie Threads.
they they
They
certainly
eat like
eat like the
the
Germans are
German.
flying overhead.
You guys remember when Sargon of Akkad went on that racist tirade about spicy food?
No, what happened?
And he tried to claim he was a quarter black.
What did he say when he said that? He said he was like an octoroon, like some kind of old timey racist saying for like a quarter black person.
Yeah.
Was that him or was that like Richard Spencer that said octoroon? There's one of those weird Nazi fucks that pulled out the old timey racism.
Well,
Yeah.
this
I remember
installment of the Zoomer Tombstone episode podcast about the 2004 movie EuroTrip sure is interesting.
No, which one was it that you just like went on like a whole tangent in the middle of the episode about Boogie because you and him got in a Twitter taft?
Oh fuck. I'm trying to remember. My brain is very weak at the moment.
I know you ratioed the fuck out of him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like I gotta brag about this on my podcast. I'm gonna interrupt our little shitty review of space chimps or whatever to tell everybody, yo, I ratioed a lol cow today.
The
yeah.
Boogie 1488 gag still gets me.
Because it's true. He was trying to do like a fucking right wing heel turn to try and gain attention because like that's like the whole thing about Boogie is like people like Boogie 2988 are like manufactured lol cows, right?
Uh-huh.
Like he's
And
not a real lol cow. He's trying to gain attention because he's no longer relevant, and it's being steered by Daniel by Keemstar, who tries to report on any of the wacky stuff that he does so people will pay attention to him and give him money.
yeah, he's like trying to like hold on to this lol cow personally and take care of it so that he can milk it for all he wants, but it no longer becomes
Yeah.
organic. It's not organic milk anymore. He's
It's
putting
not
growth
organic.
hormones in it.
Yeah, it's
It's mold
fake
that
milk.
grew on his
It's
titties.
factory farming.
Yeah. Keemstar is factory farming lol cows. He's cultivated Boogie 2988, so when he takes a sudden Nazi heel turn, people just call him out for it because it's dumb. It's a grift.
Yeah,
People can see it from a mile away.
How the fuck is Keemstar even still relevant? That's my question.
because he's
I don't
Keemstar,
know.
he finds a way. He sold his soul to the
Well,
devil or something.
Keemstar is a bald retard, so maybe his aerodynamic build, given his short stature and his smooth brain and his lack of intelligence, just allows him to bumble forward in life, continually falling upwards. You know,
Do you think he
that's my.
wears that hat for the same reason Tim Pool wears a beanie?
But
I
yeah,
feel like
he's admitted
I
to
feel like
it.
Tim Pool. I feel like Tim Pool's like Ed from Ed, and Eddie.
You
You know,
mean
like
Double D?
or Double D. Sorry, he's like Double D from Ed,
Big
and
fan
Eddie. Where like
So
detective.
if you
closetly trans.
I mean, that's a theory, but what I was gonna say is I think like if you remove the hat, there's just like one gnarly like curly hair and nothing else.
You remove the hat and there's just like a fucking like screeching like Siamese twin like from Basket Case.
Just a second face in the back of his head, just going like ah.
Yeah, and its name is Eduardo.
The fourth Ed. It's like the fifth
Yeah.
Beatle.
No, wait, it's like Tim and Jim. You got Tim Pool and Jim Pool. He has to feed Jim graham crackers every now and then, which is why he has to go skateboarding on his own private skate park because the only way he can feed him is to
The only way
do
he
it
can feel relevant and
anaerobically.
alive.
Huh?
The only way he feels relevant and alive is to skate.
Yeah, by kicking all the skaters out so he can feed his little half-faced demon in the back of his head under his beanie.
For anyone wondering why we're no longer talking about EuroTrip, it's because there's not much more to say.
It's
There's
a
not
good
much
shit
more to
movie.
say. It's a good shit movie. We've said
Go
this
watch
multiple
it.
times now.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
I would say, as a movie in general, it gets a 7. It's a 7, maybe an 8. 7. I'd say 7.5.
I'd say
It's
six and a
it's
half.
a
It's 7.
yeah.
7.5.
As someone who's never seen it, I give it the Grammy. Or the
as
Oscar,
a
or whatever
like,
fucking made-up bullshit award they have for movies now.
God, I was like looking at like the awards for like the Grammys and the Emmys, and like I know like the Emmys like actually does nominate like the Oscars and the Grammys for awards for like their television programming, and I'm like, what's the point? Why are you
it's a big
like
circle jerk.
yeah? Are the Oscars going to give like the Tonys like a special like little like acknowledgement like?
You think if the award show's over 2 hours, they can be considered for an Oscar because it's technically a movie?
Well, I saw like the Emmys have been nominated in like Netflix movies.
Hmm.
Yeah, but they're movies. They're not
Interesting.
like TV shows. Like I know like that Jerry Seinfeld what Unfrosted movie got nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Another
Uh,
irrelevant celebrity.
Always relevant.
the basis for BoJack Horseman himself, Jerry Seinfeld.
Hey, so what's the deal with this movie called EuroTrip?
BoJack was more of like a basis of, I think, like with John Stamos, or like one of the Full House actors, one of the ones that's like, no, I'm a serious actor, but then is on a sitcom and then becomes a miserable
Yeah.
asshole.
And then goes to prison.
Yeah.
So, final thoughts on this episode of the Zoomer Tombstone podcast, number 49. Any final words you guys want to say before we wrap up?
I,
Uh,
I would like to thank all 5 of our remaining audience members for sticking with us.
I if you are uncircumcised, remember to clean your foreskin.
And stay the hell
That's
away from
true. That's good
Italians
advice.
if you're ever on the train.
Yeah.
There was a lot of anti-Italian racism in this movie. I found.
I feel like there was like a lot of anti, like Europe sort of sentimentality in general, I guess. If you want to count like just like stereotype them all to be like loose like sexual freaks, which it is like pretty like relevant and kind of true. I mean, like they make comments in this movie a lot about how to like the American characters, like, your country was founded by prudes,
Yeah,
which is true.
Well, if I
it's
may say
true.
one thing,
Yeah.
well, at least our schools aren't like the Call of Duties. No, they're more like Knives Out.
Yeah.
God. So, yeah, just kind of wrapping up here now. Thank you guys for watching this episode of the Zoomer Tombstone podcast. Catch all future episodes on our Patreon, Spotify, and our YouTube. And I want to say a special thanks to I want to say it's Pocket, Pokyt, Pocket, for being part of our executive economy class ultra consumer $15 tier on the Patreon. You've earned
Big
this
thank
shout
you
out.
to
Thank
Clown
you.
Pocket.
Clown Pocket, Jesus. So yeah, thank you for watching. Be sure to catch other episodes coming soon. We've got more planned. The Zoomer Tombstone never dies, even
Yeah.
without Synth
Yeah, we'll
on
have some
his.
more stupid guests too, hopefully.
Yep, we got some guests cooking up, and we got some more
I have
stuff
I have a
coming.
very special guest that I'm going to personally demand. So
They haven't banned me from joining yet.
yeah, you're still on our good graces for now. Next
So
time,
yeah,
watch the movie though. Even if you're
yeah. Next,
morally opposed to it. Even if you get like a bad vibe from it, because you never know, you might just watch it, wind up loving it, and maybe it'll be your new favorite movie. Maybe you'll find a religion around it, like how people who love the Big Lebowski found a religion around that.
I mean, it's a good religion. It's
You mean all the
just
boomers who
Taoism.
make memes of Sam Elliott's character?
No, I mean like
I
the
mean,
people who cosplay as Jeff
is the
Bridges'
dude.
character.
Yeah.
He peed on my rug.
So
That
much, so much
I
peeing on rugs, so many fucking pies, so much degeneracy.
so
Piss rugs,
so
pie
many
fucking,
cucks.
and raped on a train.
So many cucks. Why are there so many cucks in all these movies? Why do we watch cuck movies so much? That's a question I'm genuinely asking the you guys and the audience.
It's what the audience wants.
Why do we watch cuck movies, and why do we talk about cuck movies so much?
Because we can relate to them.